Hello, everyone! How are you today? Let's try something fun. Listen and repeat after me, nice and slow. I want to speak English naturally and fast.
I want to speak English naturally and fast.
Perfect! You see, you just spoke English. Did you think about rules? Did you think about verbs or nouns? No, you did not. You just listened and you repeated. That is exactly what we are talking about today.
Yes, welcome to the show, everyone. Today we have a very special topic. We want to show you how to learn English without focusing on grammar rules. I know many people hate grammar. They see a big book of rules and they feel tired, they feel scared.
Oh, absolutely. Grammar books can be so boring. They make you think too much. When you want to speak, you start thinking, is this the right tense? Should I use a past tense or a present tense? And then you stop speaking. You get stuck.
Exactly, you freeze. It is like trying to learn how to ride a bicycle by reading a book about how bicycles are made. You do not need to know how the gears work to ride the bike. You just need to get on the bike and pedal.
That is a great example. So how do we start? If we throw away the grammar books, what do we do instead? The first step is very simple. Listen, listen, and listen.
Yes, listening is your superpower. Think about babies. How do babies learn their first language? Do they open a textbook? Do they study grammar rules? No, they just listen to their parents every single day. For months, they just take in the sounds.
Right. They absorb the language. They hear the same words again and again. After some time, they understand the meaning, and then they start to copy those words. That is how nature wants us to learn.
But some people might ask, what should I listen to? Because if you listen to something very difficult, like a complex news program or a scientific debate, it will not help. It will just make you feel confused.
That is a very good point. You must listen to what we call understandable input. This means you should listen to English that is easy for you. You should understand at least 70% or 80% of what is being said.
So things like children's stories, simple podcasts, or easy cartoons are perfect. Even videos about hobbies you like, such as cooking, sports, or gaming, are great. If you like cooking, watch a simple cooking video in English. You see the food, you see the actions, and you hear the words. Your brain connects them automatically.
Yes, and the best part is you are having fun. When you enjoy what you are watching or hearing, your brain relaxes. A relaxed brain learns much faster than a stressed brain.
Okay, so we listen a lot. But how does that help us with grammar? If we do not study the rules, how do we speak correctly?
This is the magic part. When you listen to correct English many times, your brain starts to recognize patterns. For example, you hear people say, he goes to school, she goes to work, he goes to the store. You hear he goes and she goes hundreds of times.
Ah, I see. So later, when you try to speak, you will naturally say he goes. You do not need to remember a rule that says add an S to the verb for the third person singular. It just sounds right to your ears.
Exactly. And if you accidentally say he go, your ears will tell you, wait, that sounds strange. You fix it because of how it sounds, not because of a rule. That is how native speakers do it. Most native speakers do not actually know all the formal rules of grammar, but they know what sounds right.
That is so true. I know many native speakers who would fail a school grammar test, but they speak perfectly. So listening helps us get the patterns. What is the next step after listening?
The next step is copying. We call this shadowing or just imitating. When you hear a phrase you like in a video or a podcast, pause it. Then say it out loud. Try to copy the voice exactly. Copy the rhythm, the emotion, and the speed.
Let's try that right now with our friends listening. I will say a sentence and you repeat it just like me. Ready? Wow, this is so easy.
Wow, this is so easy.
See? It is fun. When you copy native speakers, you are training your mouth muscles. Speaking a new language is like a sport. Your tongue and your lips need exercise to make new sounds.
Yes, it is pure muscle memory. If you only read English with your eyes, your mouth will never learn how to move. You have to speak out loud. Even if you are alone in your room, talk to yourself. Describe what you are doing. Say, "Now I am drinking water," or "I am opening the door."
That is a fantastic habit. I tell people to do this every day. It is called thinking in English. Instead of translating a sentence from your native language to English in your head, you just connect the action directly to the English words.
Translation is a big trap. When you translate, you use twice the energy. You think of the sentence in your language, then you look for the grammar rules, then you translate the words, and then you speak. That takes too long. By the time you are ready to speak, the conversation has moved on.
Yes, and translation often creates wrong sentences because every language has a different structure. But if you learn phrases instead of single words, you avoid this completely.
Oh, phrases are everything. Tell us more about that.
Well, instead of learning just the word interested, you should learn the whole phrase. I am interested in. For example, I am interested in music. If you learn the whole group of words together, you will never make the mistake of saying, I am interest at music. You learn the words with their natural partners.
That is such a smart way to learn. Phrases are like blocks of a house. It is much easier to build a house with big, ready-made blocks than with tiny pieces of sand. You just put the blocks together, and boom, you have a sentence.
Right, and you can find these phrases everywhere. When you read a simple story or watch a video, write down full phrases in a small notebook. Do not just write down one word. Write the whole sentence or the phrase, and then read it out loud a few times.
Let's talk about reading for a moment. Reading is also an amazing way to learn without grammar books. But again, it must be easy reading.
Yes, do not choose a heavy book. Choose comics, short stories, or simple news articles. When you read, you see how words live together on the page. You see the punctuation, you see the structure, and your brain logs it all down quietly.
And do not worry if you do not understand every single word. If you get the general idea of the story, just keep going. Do not stop every 5 seconds to look up a word in the dictionary. That ruins the fun. Just guess the meaning from the story and keep reading. That is right. Relax and enjoy the story. Now, there is one thing we must talk about because it scares everyone. Mistakes.
Oh, yes. The fear of making mistakes is the biggest wall for English learners.
People feel so ashamed when they say something wrong. They think people will laugh at them. But let me tell you a secret. Mistakes are beautiful. Mistakes mean you are trying. They are the only path to success.
Absolutely. When you make a mistake, it is not a failure. It is just feedback. It shows you what you need to practice more. Even native speakers make mistakes all the time when they speak casually. Nobody cares about perfect grammar in a real conversation. People just want to understand your message.
Exactly. Communication is about connection, not perfection. If you say, yesterday I go to the store, the other person understands you perfectly. They know you mean the past because you said yesterday. They will not stop you and say, oh, your grammar is bad. They will just ask, oh, really? What did you buy?
Yes, the message is what matters. So do not let the fear of grammar hold you back. Be brave. Speak with confidence, even if your English is broken. The more you speak, the better it becomes.
So, let's summarize our plan for everyone. It is a very simple daily routine. First, find 15 to 30 minutes every day to listen to easy English. It can be a video, a cartoon, or a simple podcast like this one.
Second, copy what you hear. Pause and repeat phrases out loud. Practice your pronunciation and feel the rhythm of the language.
Third, look for phrases, not single words. Keep a little notebook of common sentences that you can use in real life.
And fourth, stop worrying about rules. Relax, have fun, and accept your mistakes.
That sounds like a wonderful way to learn. It feels like a hobby, not like school homework.
And that is why it works so well. Because when you love the process, you never give up.
Well, that is all for today's chat, friends. Thank you for listening to us.
Yes, thank you so much. Go out there, listen to some good English, and start speaking. You can do it. See you next time. Bye-bye, everyone.